chop it up with your boy Zaz.
Hey, you ready?
No shit, that's you.
Hey, 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 yeah, hey. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it. Let's chop it. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it. Let's chop it. Yeah, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it.
All right. Welcome to Let's Chop It Up with Zaz. And today we have Napoleon the Legend. What's going on, brother?
Yo, blessed to be here, my brother.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So what's been going on? Give us a few updates of what's been going on with you.
So a lot of music, a lot of making music, you know, like COVID has been an interesting situation. I mean, for the whole world, but the amount of like people reaching out to me to work has been, you know, great and almost overwhelming to a point where it's just like, yo, I'm like, yo, what do I say yes to? What do I say no to? It's been really, really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody and their mama reached out to me to do shit. And I'm only, you know what I'm saying? I'm only one man. And, but just working on a lot of projects, just staying focused, trying to really be choosy as to what I take on and keeping my quality up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very important to me. Like, people think sometimes, I think they take for granted when they see people that release a lot of music like me, that make a lot of music, they think it's like, they might get a feeling like we don't care. Cause you know, you put out an album and then next month there'll be another project or another album. And then they have features and singles dropping left and right from other things that have out of my control. So it feels like, yo, he's just rapping and throwing shit out. But it's when it comes to me, it's really not that. Like, you know, I try to really take my time and make sure what I drop, for the most part, what I could control is quality.
But you know what, though? I was going to say that because you could like, you might feel that way that you think,
Right.
but me on the other side looking at you,
Right.
brother, you drop quality music, man. It doesn't matter if it's a day apart. Like, your music is insane. Like, your wordplay is on another level. Yeah, I feel like, you know, people should recognize, and I think they do. And I think they do recognize, you know what I mean? You have a large following, but it's like, I feel like some people, I'm not going to say they forget, but it's hard for them to be like, man, Napoleon be killing that joint. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's a thin line to play because, like I said, it's easy to take it for granted when it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's easy to be like, oh, that's just Napoleon dropping something else, and not realizing like you might hear a song that's so personal or so that might hit you a different way, and everything that I'm doing. And it's like, my thing is that, yo, I just got this thing where like cats that ask me to do features, for example, right? A lot of times when I have the time, when I'm not traveling, when I'm in Brooklyn chilling, sometimes they ask me to do a feature and they get it back an hour later. And they be like, and they see the level. They be like, damn, like, I know you just wrote this for this beat and you wrote this on, it wasn't like a verse that I pre-written.
Yeah.
And that I got to a point where my blade is that sharp because I've been doing it for so long. It comes out like that. So I see a lot of people can easily take it for granted. That's just what he does. But like, my blade is that sharp where cats will testify like, yo, Napoleon really be on it like that, you know? And I think a lot of people don't realize that part of where, like, it comes to me in the same way you hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to keep myself healthy, trying to keep myself well so I could like just keep making those bangers, because making those bangers is the easy part.
How about that? How about that? But people don't know you've been doing this for a long time, man.
Right, for sure,
Pe-
man.
pe- let me ask you something, brother.
Right.
Do you think that you're getting your deservement, like you're getting like your recognition, like your respect? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I'm starting to. People are starting to come around the corner. Like, okay, this dude. Now it's hard to see. Like, as an artist, to be perfectly honest, I call myself Napoleon the Legend. And like, when I was growing up and listening to all these rap legends that I grew up to and made me love hip hop, once I started doing it myself, me and my boys were like, yo, we want to be rap stars. Like we want to be like what we see in the videos, man. We see Nas and Mobb Deep in these videos. We want to be those dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was like that was our idea, our ideal. But the thing is, and so I'm just saying that to keep it real. Like, you want everybody to like you. You want to feel like you're in arenas and people bumping your shit. I'm just being real. A lot of artists ain't
No,
gonna
no,
get that,
definitely.
but
Being
it's
real.
part of the driving force. But later on, as you live through life, as you go through, you learn about the game, which is not at all what people think it is, and the business, which I learned coming to Brooklyn, is you realize that, yo, look, I'm happy that I can live off this and live, like, travel, meet great people, collaborate with great people. And I came to accept that, look, I gotta earn one fan at a time, one verse at a time, one bar at a time. So it's like, I'm no longer like when I was young thinking about, no, my thing is just like, yo, if one person could be like, yo, this dude went off right here, or this dude says something that just stuck to me, I'm happy. So every day I do it thinking like, yo, let me show off, let me freak something special on today, and then let the chips fall where they may. I think it's a lot more easier for me psychologically to handle it, because just I don't want to be that bitter dude. Like, yo, motherfuckers gotta respect me. Like, look, I'm getting played by Peter Rosenberg every Sunday. So, since COVID started, I'm getting played by DJ Premier. I'm getting played by DJ Clips, Matic in the West Coast. People I don't even know, DJ Revolution. Like, I don't even know how they get my music. At this point,
People paying attention.
people overseas, and it's like, yo, I feel like I'm getting the love. You know what I mean? Like, I can't lie, and my life is being supported by it. So it's like, you know what I mean? I think I'll sound like a spoiled brat to be like, oh, motherfuckers not respected. I gotta kill what I eat. So I'm not, I'm the type where y'all crying about support and this and that, because a lot of artists go to that, and I get the feeling. I don't think they're done for doing it, but I'm like, you gotta move past it. I'm showing y'all by dropping these projects, by dropping these hot verses and features, by
Yes.
making these moves. And so I'm all about the show and prove. So I'm happy with all I get. And all to me is just cherry on top. You know what I'm happy with? Waking up in the morning before I got this interview, laying a banger and knowing like y'all gonna hear this probably next year. And it's better than anything that y'all heard today. That's what makes me happy. So like
How
me
about
having
that?
fans and people appreciate it, it's just cherry on top.
Damn, that's beautiful, man. And it's amazing to have that feeling,
Right.
because, like you said, a lot of artists, it's like they're chasing the dragon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Chasing the dragon. Now here's the thing with me. Like, when it comes to you, you're like, you're in your own lane. For me, you're in your own lane, right? And I've been watching you for a long time. Okay.
Right.
So to me, I call you Mr. Cinematic.
Okay. I like
Now,
that.
now hear me out. You're the only artist, right? And I understand that Wu Tang uses like a whole bunch of stuff and everything, and they incorporate it in their albums. But you have your own style. It's like you put it out, and it's like you're watching like a bunch of episodes through your music.
Mm.
Is that what you want to give off? Is that's your style? Like explain that.
Yeah, it's a big part of my style, and like, yeah, I do feel like I'm in my own lane. I don't see anybody having the unique experience and background that I have. First off, and look, man, you mentioned Wu Tang. One of my biggest like knockout blows, like when you hear something so crazy, you feel like you got knocked out. Was only built for Cuban Link.
Oh, how
and
about
and
that?
that album, to me, it was the first time I kind of felt that when I heard 36 Chambers, but only built for Cuban Link. There was something different about it. There was that cinematic, like the 36 Chambers was like a kung fu flick, so it did bring me into a cinematic type of realm. But like Raekwon brought it to the street,
Mm,
but I felt like I was in a movie, and I felt like Ghost and Ray were like characters in a movie, but yet it was real. So it
yes.
was that, and I think subconsciously that always influenced me as like one of the classic works that took me there. So I guess I I always strive to paint that type of movie like motion picture when I do music. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the album and the project and the producer, but I want everything. I wanted to tell a bigger story at the end of the day,
Yes.
and it's the story of my journey. And you hear my album titles: Path of a Warrior, Hero's Journey. Um, like a lot of thing has to do with a destination. Like I'm getting there, and I'm like taking y'all with me type thing. And
Yes.
instead of just being it like Cuban Links, the genius of it being one project. My thing is, I want to do it as like my whole body of work being that movie. So you're getting different episodes, you're getting different parts of the movie when you're hearing different projects I'm making.
Yeah. And you could tell even from the lyrics, from the production to the album cover. Every time he drops something, I go, damn, this dude is insane, man. He always does it. So it's like it's so consistent. The work ethic is insane. You know what I mean? But like you said, you sharpen the sword, you found the machine, and now you're rolling with it. So now it comes like second nature. You know what
Right.
I mean? So what does it take? What's the process for you going in to like creating an album or a project? Do you do like a bunch of tracks and then you sit down and you go, okay, I'm gonna put this on there? Because some of your albums are like that, and then some albums are like staying to to the narrative, the plot. You
Right.
know what I mean? So how does that work with you?
Well, it depends. Every project is different. It depends if it's my idea or somebody else's idea. Like for example, like Stuff of Legends, for example, just using as an example, was Jordan Commander's idea from Canada with his boy Raw Data that created it. So it's kind of like they already had like the beats and the picture, and I was just adding on as using my raps, and they added on the features and everything else. But mostly that's not usually how I work. That was just an exception because me and Jordan get along so well, and it was
Okay.
like, yo, that's a dope idea. Stuff for Legends. I'm down with that. Yo, give me the alley oop. I'm gonna dunk the ball. You know what I mean? I don't always have to do all the work, but usually it just be, especially my self-produced stuff, it just be ideas that I got, and that's like I can't get it out of my head. I used to have ideas like that only for songs and like verses and hooks, which like, yo, I gotta write this, I gotta record this. But lately, as I've been doing, like after I started doing Stillest mixtapes, I started to know how to conceptualize a whole project,
Mm,
and I get the idea of a project, and I'm like, okay, these are my parameters, these are the rules, like for example, it's like the anime stuff, Bronze Saints. I'm taking music just from one source and not going out of that source to make that whole thing. So it gives me like a restriction, but within that, I could work out what I want. And
nice.
so I come up with the whole concept, and then I just record, and I keep what I like, and and what I don't think fits, or what I think is extra. I just keep I just put to the side. I'm not really tied to my work. I want the whole work to be good. I'm not too. if something doesn't feel like it fits, I won't put it in.
Nice, nice. So do you feel because of your wordplay, because you come with it, man. You you destroy it, right? Do you feel like artists kind of skeptical about working with you? I'm just saying. I'm just saying
Funny question.
because I see that a lot with lyrical rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you think about that? I mean, you don't have to say like anything, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Genuinely, I think it happens. Look, like man, your rappers are competitive, and rappers also are. There's a portion of clout chasing that comes with doing rap at this level where you're being visible. So let's not kid ourselves. Like cats want the recognition. You get a good look, you start getting a little fan base, and then it's like, oh, if I put this guy on that, my fans are gonna see me get washed on my own shit. And I don't think like that because I don't see no rappers washing me. And I'm the type where I'll send the verse first, like a lot of times because I don't care. Like, go ahead, do your best to like kill, when it comes like that, because I'm thinking a song first. It's like if I feel like I said my piece on that song, like do you, you know what I'm saying? And me, I don't go on a feature trying to wash everybody. I'm just trying to be like, yo, this beat is giving me this. Let me do me on this. You know what I'm saying? But I think that rap, we can't not act like it's not a competitive sport. And it's a positioning sport, it's a visibility sport. So a lot of people is like, yo, if I give this dude's visibility, yo, my fans is gonna move. And a lot of dudes and those guys sometimes that talk the most shit be the most insecure cats. That's why they talk the most shit. And I don't know for a fact, it's just my inkling. You know what I'm saying? It's like Donald Trump. Like, you know what I mean? Like he got sick, so his immune system is weak and he got the best treatment. Now he's trying to act strong. Like, nah, man, like the virus already got you, man. Like now you
yeah,
got to go to Walter Reed and they got all type of experimental shit on you. And that's but you doing bravado. So it's a lot of bravado and I love it. I love that competitive side of rap.
yes,
But I do think that rightfully so, some dudes need to be wary of putting me on songs because like yo, man, I'm gonna do what I do naturally, and it's not, I don't even have to think to do it. It's just how it comes out. And cats that see me in studio see how it work, they know what it is. But do I care? No, I don't care. Like that's why I my only focus is to establish my music and my worth. And then it's like, look, if the vibes work out, let's make some great music, man. But
yes.
I've had a lot of dudes be funny style, like ask me when they see me in person, they be like, yo, I don't say nothing. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Peace. Yo, let's do a track. Let's get on a joint. I'm like, all right, you want to get on a joint? All right, cool. 2 days later, I hit him up like, yo, I got this joint we could get on. No answer.
See,
That happens. That happened more than once. So like, it is what it is, you know.
yeah, it is what it is, man.
and I know what it is when I see stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Because me, if I go step up to somebody and I'm like, yo, let's do a joint, they send me a joint, it's gonna get done. That's why I got so many features, because my word is my bond when it comes to that shit. I like the sport, I like the art. We're not gonna be here tomorrow. You got like, I always look at it from a legacy standpoint when I'm not here no more. Like if I had the opportunity to do something dope with another dope rapper, why not freaking do it? It's like, yo, we gonna go to the grave without seeing that Nas and AZ album. Like we want that, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
shouldn't deprive the world of that. And I'm not criticizing them; those are some of my favorite artists. But
yeah,
I feel like if there's a dope artist and we're talking and we have a good vibe and I don't have anything negative to say about that, to think about that person, why not make something dope? But a lot of time things get blocked out of just ego, positioning. I don't want, I'm using him because I don't think he's gonna outshine me. And you know what I mean? It's a lot of
yeah.
chess moves being played, and to the detriment of the art.
Instead of just giving it to to the fans, you know what I mean?
Right,
People, we appreciate that.
right.
So, I mean, you come a long way, man. I mean, you went ahead and you was living in Washington, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then Maryland, right?
Both places. I mean,
Both
it's so close
places,
together. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then you ended up in Brooklyn. So
Right,
you're like going on a journey, man, to fulfill
right,
your dreams,
right.
So how was that process, that transition coming from, because me myself, I was born and raised in New York. I was there till I was 22 years old
Okay.
in Brooklyn, you know what I mean?
Word.
So the transition from those areas to coming to New York, it's like a big deal, you
Right,
know? So
right.
how was that transition for you?
I mean, it had its challenges. Like I used to go to New York a lot. Me and my boys used to like travel to New York and just try to like push our music. You know what I mean? We used to hit all the spots. We used to try to make connections. And there was times before then that a lot of people don't know. Like I had an apartment like around the Clinton Hill area, and I was
Mm,
going back and forth from PG County to there. Doing a lot of different things at the time,
okay.
and like for probably like a span of 6 months when I could hold when I could hold it down, and then I was like, it wasn't worth it no more.
Okay.
And so I was familiar with the New York vibes and the scene. It wasn't like I was just going straight into a new world. I had been in New York a lot. The challenge was it's like everything else, like finding a place to stay and your living condition. My living condition when I first moved to New York
Man.
wasn't really ideal. I was like, I had this girl that I didn't really know that well, and I wasn't messing with her or
Yeah.
nothing. I had a small room. I had like very limited space. A terrible bed. Was hurting my back and everything. So it was like
Mm,
it was challenging for the first few months, and like the New York lifestyle, like being used to. I had a car back in DC. I brought it here. You got to move the car. You got to do this. Everything is expensive.
I
I'm
used to
not
hate
used.
that.
I'm not used to that. You know.
Yeah.
But so I went through my challenges, but at the same time, it gave me a lot of material, and I learned fast. And when you overcome certain things, you get some sort of confidence in you that, like, you know what, I made it through that. I remember when I used to have, rarely had people come see me where I used to live, and they used to be like, damn, you living like that. Like my whole room was like cluttered. It was crazy. I had my whole life in a small room.
In a small room.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't ideal. Like I said, I'm a lot more comfortable now, which I'm happy about. But like I came with so much focus when I came here. It was just like I had a mission, and I felt like nothing was gonna stop me. And the fact that I could have went sideways a lot, I could have went off the music grid, try to make money other ways, and I kept doing it, and I
Kept
kept
doing it.
um it makes you look back at it like, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I did that, man. And I'm able to relay it in my music too, for y'all to have to be like, yo, whether it's music, whether it's something else that you want out of life, yo, take that leap. It's it's just gonna be rough, but it's possible, and it's mad fulfilling.
Yes. Ain't that something?
Yeah, man.
That's why they say literally, man, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right?
Took that to heart. I mean, New York, it's been the best school. You know what I mean? And it's
Yes.
like at this point, where I stand musically, I could be anywhere now. Like I don't need to be in New York, especially with COVID. COVID don't matter no more. Nobody's outside doing nothing,
No.
no shows. I could literally be anywhere, and I know I graduated from that Brooklyn, New York school of like hip hop game, quote unquote. And I could take
Yes.
that anywhere and just use those skills.
Yeah. And you fit right in too, man. You fit right in.
Well, that's what it's saying. A lot of people, hadn't I told them where I was actually from, they would have thought I was a New York rapper. And I,
Hmm.
I remember back, even when I was in Maryland, there was a few people that thought I was from New York. They thought I was from Queens. I don't know why. And I ended up befriending my boy Black Ice from Queensbridge, and he used to always tell me, shout out to him by the way, he used to always tell me like, yo, you ain't from QB, but you from QB. and he's from Queensbridge. Like I'm talking about, like, he's you know, he used to roll with Lakey the Kid, called Mega, all these dudes.
Okay.
Like you like a Queensbridge nigga, and you know it kind of made me feel good because
Yeah,
I was
right.
such a fan. You know, I'm like word. I could rock with y'all and shit like that. But I think I always had that aura, and part of it to explain people is that I learned English also through rap. So you got to understand that when I was born in Paris, France. I'm originally from Comoros Island in East Africa, and growing up listening to hip hop, listening to the Nas's, the Mobb Deep, I learned to speak English through them. So my accent, I was mimicking them. So I had a New York accent growing up over there because it
Wow.
wasn't my first language.
How about that?
So it's like it's a lot of like weird stuff going on. So I guess like I absorbed some of that vibes and just internalized it somehow.
Because a lot of people think you Puerto Rican.
Right. No, I know. I passed for Puerto Rican. I passed for Dominican.
How about that?
Yeah. I'm from Comoros Islands. You know, both my parents are black, but my mother's father was German, but she had never meet him. So I'm a little bit mixed. You know, that's why.
Okay. That's
A lot
cool.
of people look at me like, "What are you?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. What,
I'm like three
what are
quarter
you?
black, one quarter German, technically. You know what I'm saying? But
Like,
I
what
don't
are
know.
you?
I don't know none of that side of my family that's German, so to speak.
So I wanted to touch on some of the releases that you had. So I know that most times like artists don't put like their first, like their first official release. What was Napoleon the Legend's first release, album wise?
No, album wise, it was Awakening.
Awakening.
Actually, I was in New York for that. You know, I never had a Napoleon the Legend album before Awakening. That was, I believe, 2013.
So because that album, it's like it really sounds like you've been doing it like you were doing it for a long time when you put that album out. You sounded like a veteran on that album. The way you were spitting, the production, the way you put every single song in order. Explain that. Like how did that drive come to put that out like that to have such an impact on hip hop?
Well, I had started it when I was in Maryland. I had some of the songs. Some of the songs were produced by my man Unknown, who works with like Odyssey and people like that.
Okay.
And so I had a few joints from that, and then I transitioned to New York and was still working on it. And I was able to get, Sean Price, rest in peace, Raekwon,
Yeah.
certain features that were key to that album. To be honest with you, you look, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just,
That was
I
pretty
just,
good, man.
yeah, no, I just recorded songs where I'm like they were dope, and I wanted to add skits once again on some Only Built for Cuba Link thing where I actually sample from Saint Seiya anime, and me and my boy C Truth had conversations where we would have like a heart to heart, and wanted to share that with the audience because my whole thing is like I want people to know who I was more than just the raps. And like, so sometimes a skit where you're telling them, like I felt like connected to Ghostface and Ray from their intro on that when he was like, "Yo, if this don't work, man, I'm done."
I'm done.
And
Yeah.
that was such a heavy statement for me, and I feel like that all the time. I'm like, "Yo, I got this gotta connect." You know what I'm saying? It's life or death. Like it's do or die, really. And I had that feeling in me, and I just wanted once again to make it tell a story, be cinematic, tell people about who I was, and it came together well. Like you know what I mean? I and know that I exist because people knew me like when I used to be in DC, Maryland. I had a buzz. Like people knew who I was. People were like, "Yo, this dude Napoleon, he's nice and all that," but I didn't know nothing about the game, and I didn't realize like, yo, you need to have a catalog for people to actually take you seriously as an artist. You can't just
Mm.
go in ciphers and kill it, or go to shows and kill it. Like, you need to have a body of work that people could refer to. And so that was my thing, where it's like, yo, this is my first impression, and I better make a good one.
Because they go right back to it. They right now with Google and all that stuff and the internet, everybody's like, "Oh man, like Napoleon, the what? Oh
Right.
man, look at this." But they don't know though, right? So
Right, right,
Napoleon,
right,
people don't know this about you, man, but you sold the most on Bandcamp.
right, 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 right,
Speak about that, man. That's hard to do, brother. You know how many artists are on there every day?
right, right, right. No, that's been crazy. Like I've had a crazy year, man. Like, look, um, I've had a good run this year. You know, I can't. I dropped Shikara, which went on Chop Herring. So Chop Herring classic
Amazing.
label. You know what I'm saying? So they do their numbers. Then I dropped. I dropped Charles de Gaulle, the thing where I rap in French. That's something separate in English. But then I had Street Universe with Galileo Point that dropped with Copenhagen Crates. So already in 2 weeks, that album was sold out. So I was like, wow, okay, this is new to me. Like I didn't, I wasn't used to that. And then Stuff of Legend came out with Chong Wizard and Jordan Commander and Rodata. That sold out in 2 days, I think. And one of my goals that I had prior to 2020, 2019, I wrote it down. Like, I want to press up my own vinyl. I just want to do it because I know I'm gonna get these vinyl deals with certain independent labels, but I want to just do my own. Like, I want to stick my neck out. And I pressed up that Dragon Ball G, and I had it actually. I've had it before even I put out Street Universe. Like I've had it for a while sitting at the crib. Like I gotta put these two out first because I have a deal to put them out. You know, I can't be too messy. And then I just decided to drop it a month before the actual release, and it flew in less than 24 hours. And I was just like, I just couldn't believe it. I was shooting a video for that French song I put out called De Rien with my boy B Bass, and my phone kept dinging, and I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Like, I was shooting a video between I'm like, I think this thing is gonna sell out. Like, I just put it up like just before we left the crib. Like, I was like typing out like, yo, let me put this up and then let's go shoot. And I'm like, I think this is gonna sell out. So it's an incredible feeling just to see that, yo, people reacted to it that much. And then you start seeing it on the Bandcamp front page, which was I never heard before. And I'm like, wow, this is Bandcamp. Like, everybody's on Bandcamp.
Everybody.
All the who's, all the main rappers that are really, really getting it in are on Bandcamp. And it to be mentioned, and to be honest with you, and they actually reached out to me. So they actually interviewed me like the other day.
Wow.
So, and I was like, yeah, they reached out to me out of the blue, like, yo. And I saw that I got like some like notable album of the month for September for Stuff of Legend. And then they reached out to me, and then, mainly talking about this Dragon Ball joint. So it's like, yo, I just thank y'all, man, because people, I guess the amount of time they were talking and the supporters, and for me, I was a little bit like wary of pressing my own shit. It's expensive to press vinyls.
No, it is.
Like, to press CDs is nothing. It's cheap. Vinyl, it's expensive. It's like, it takes like months to do. So you have to really be sure. And that's a project that I produced myself. I mixed and mastered myself top to bottom. And I'm like, just to see that happening, I like I said, I celebrate, man. That was like a victory to me,
That's what we're doing today, man. We celebrating you, brother.
Thank you, man.
But that's the most amazing thing when you get that vinyl back. Like, my first single was a vinyl.
Right.
My first single was a vinyl.
Right.
And I was dealing with these people out of Denver.
Right.
So when they send me that they send you like this heavy vinyl, right? As like the sample, right? For you to try. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. So to have your stuff on a vinyl, man, you could sell that stuff, Legend. Come on, you could kill it, man.
I mean, you got to do it though. You know what I mean? It's like it's one thing. That's why I wanted to press my own shit, because it's one thing to know, like, y'all know I could get this off, but to actually go through the process, do it, and it happening, it's like, all right, cool. Now I got confirmation. You know what I mean? And like I said, look, I'll be honest with you. I got the test presses back for the joint. I don't even have a vinyl player. So I went to my boy's crib in Bushwick, and his vinyl player wasn't working. So I approved the test presses without having been able to listen to them.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
like a secret.
I'm pretty sure they sound good. Trust me.
No, no,
Vinyl's the best. Vinyl's the best.
I know they sounded good, but it was like, damn, I wish I could have actually checked because there might have been a mistake there or whatever. But yeah, I couldn't even listen to it just to tell you the truth. But I had to validate it because I'm like, I need to get this in.
Yeah, you need to get that in. Wow, how
Right.
about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, congratulations on that. That's a big accomplishment, man. Like everybody runs to Bandcamp every time they got a single or they're trying to make a couple dollars. Listen, man. So for you to be the
Right.
best seller, that's kind of crazy, man.
The Bandcamp is an ill site. Like I didn't
Isn't it?
realize how like they're really focused on independent artists and helping them like get their money, you know what I'm saying, and live and can communicate and being in touch with fans. Like it's been crazy. Like since it sold out till this day, every day I get messages from people asking me if there's any vinyl left. Like, and I'm like, yo, it shows me that I could have probably pressed even more, but I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just did what I did. But it's cool to know that, like, damn, okay, this is people talking about this shit, you know? And it's no promotion. It's not like I had like a campaign or anything. I just put out the image
And
and
that's
like this
it.
is what I'm doing. But also they knew the lead in. I've had a great year too. So they're like, yo, you build anticipation for yourself, you know?
Yes, yes, yes. And tell people, man, we're Friday. This is
Right.
coming out Friday. You know what I mean? So this is a big deal, you know. So
Friday DBG, you know what I mean? Fridge featuring Kick Magnetic, Rusty Jukes, Nejma Nefertiti, DJ TMB. I produced it. You know, I put a lot of heart in it. You know, I talk about real life shit in
when you send me that, Napoleon,
it.
listen, I love this, man. I love this.
Thank you.
And I got so much love for the people that do it, man.
Right, right,
Because I
right,
know how hard it is. You know, I
right,
know,
right, right.
it's a dream. It's a dream. Like what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing right now with you, this is a dream. Okay.
Yes.
So
No,
I'm fulfilling one of my dreams right now. You know what I mean?
that's
So I
awesome.
want to let you know that. But
Now, I mean, like, I want to say, like, I think a lot of people, no, I don't know. I imagine some people sometimes see that cover and think it's gonna be like some joke type music or whatever like that because it's like a cartoon and stuff, but they just don't realize how I flip that joint. Like it's hip hop to the core, and it's no games being played on any of these tracks. So it's like I'm really proud of it. I think people that are sleeping are gonna be pleasantly surprised.
they're
Like,
gonna
oh
be
shit, I
surprised.
didn't expect that from this. I thought this was just gonna be some fantasy. Nah, nah. This is down to earth rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 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 yes. And to be honest, man, when I heard that, and I really appreciate you letting me hear that before it even came out, and
Word.
and to get it straight from the artist, it means a lot to me, man. You know.
For sure,
So when I
brother.
put that on, I was like, oh my God, man, Napoleon did it again. This guy does it every time, man. And your
Thank you.
intros are so insane. Like your intros, like set the plot for everything else in the album. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
I wanted to hit him over the head, like
Yo, you
right
did,
when they
man.
heard it. I mean, the intro's so important because once again, like only built for Cuban Link, all these, it's like still Matic. You know, like that's the chance you get to like put people into your own space. People put on these headphones or whatever, take the subway. They're you take them on a trip. You know, they're boarding a plane with you, so you got to set the tone for that trip.
You got to. Well, and how does Napoleon stay healthy every day? People don't know, man. You were nice with the basketball, man.
Yeah, I used to be. I used to be real good with that. I don't play no more. You know, I hurt my ankle. I tore ligaments too many times on different ankles, and it just turned me off from playing. I don't like playing outside a pickup game and then turning an ankle and being out for like 3 weeks where I need crutches. You know, that's not fun.
Nah.
So what I do, man, like during this COVID time, I did something that I usually didn't do because I couldn't go to the gym. So I would go outside and run a little bit. I don't like running, but I know I have to move my body. Like we are like especially artists, we in the studio a lot. We at the crib, like writing and stuff like that. And you need to implement like balance into your regimen. So I try to move my body, whether it's like stretching, whether it's like doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, running outside and things like that. Um, I try to do it several times a week. And sometimes it gets hard, man. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just don't feel like it, or you might get a little sick, or you might get hurt, and it throws you off your whole game, or you don't sleep well. So I think everything is a balance. And my thing, I take it so serious because I know when I feel good, best music comes out, and it
Yes.
comes out easily. So I'm like, my whole life is around maintaining myself so I could rap well, or I could write good songs or whatever and
You can
produce
put
good
it out.
songs. So I realized that once I maintain that balance, I'm a well-oiled machine.
There
I'm a
you go.
war machine. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to what that's my target. I'm like obliterate it. And
Boom.
also eat well. Like I've been, try to eat organic foods, trying to eat, like I said on that song Face on Street Universe, eat your veggies. My mom used to tell me, still eating those veggies, even the things I don't like. It's easy to slip when it comes to food too, because food is addictive, man. You eat those freaking cheesecakes and all that, like you want to eat that every day, but it's like it's just discipline, man. It's like everything else. Guru said discipline. I took that to heart.
Discipline, definitely, man. And you're right there in the heart of the New York cheesecake.
Right. I use that as an example, but yeah, for sure, man. Like
Oh
I like
man.
all types of decadent food. I love it, but I have to. I think it's important to to treat yourself right. It's like, look, you're a vehicle. The body is your vehicle. You only get one. Um, you're not gonna put BS in your car.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a luxury car that you need to put higher octane fuel in it, you're not gonna put lower octane fuel. You're gonna put the highest octane fuel. And I feel the same
exactly.
way with the body. I'm trying to fuel my body the right way.
There you go. Definitely, man. Because you definitely putting it in. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it with one last thing, right? So
Right.
Napoleon, if you could talk to the youngins that are coming up now on how to get ready to get involved with this, what would you tell them?
But music, you mean?
Yeah.
Hip hop? Yeah. It's a great time to do it. I'll be honest with you because the barriers of entry are less. And I mean, I'm not talking about the hip hop game. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just making music. You could get a computer, get a sound card, get a microphone, and go ham. Download like any beat on. You can even download a type beat. I'm not too good to get a type beat if I feel like that type beat on YouTube is good. So I'm talking to the youth right now.
Yeah.
Don't let these old heads try to shame you and shit like that. Like you got to do it. Like you create your own rules. There's no rules to this, and make the music and make it and find your voice and make it till you love to make it, and then that's the nucleus. You know what I mean? Like I think we're in a world where they want you to believe that the image comes first and the music comes second. And it might be true. Like, yeah, you might get a nice face tattoo, dye your hair, go to the Takashi 69 route and have this image that's so crazy that people are like, yo, we're gonna put money down. You're gonna have writers for you, put you in the studio and create. But look at what happened at Takashi. These successes are short-lived. Like if you do this right, and I quote KRS-One. I was at SOBs in New York, and I went to a KRS-One show, and he said, if you do this hip hop thing right, you could live off it. And at that time, I also had a job when I first got to New York. A few weeks later, I quit my job because he was like, yo, if you got a job, quit. And I was probably the only crazy person in the crowd that actually listened to him. Everybody else is like, yo, they'll probably say yes while they're there. The next day, they're like, I gotta go to
I
work.
gotta go to work.
But I actually did it. I actually quit my job. But it's not like it wasn't in a vacuum. I put in work for this. You know what I'm saying? Like just so make that music and get better doing the music. I think it's the better plan in years from now, 5, 6 years, 7 years from now, you're gonna be happy about it. And I say this to say there's nothing wrong with like honing your image if you have that artistic vision where I want to present myself to the world like that, or have this persona I want to take on some MF Doom shit and whatever. That's cool too. Like, don't get me wrong, but that has to come with skill, talent, music, and
Big
and
time.
and great vibes. And if you don't have that, it might bite you in the ass later on. And I think that the more foolproof message, you need fundamentals. Look, I'll tell you what Sean Price told me. Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Rest
When
in
we were coming
peace.
back from shooting that video, Wise Men, and we went, I picked him up from his crib, went to Harlem. On the way back, we was listening to some music, and we was listening to some of my music. He's like, yo, you nice and this and that, like the way you like go on beat, off beat, this and that. He's like, cats don't understand. To do that, you have to know the fundamentals. People want to break the rules without knowing the fundamentals. That's when you sound whack, corny, and it just doesn't sound right. But once you know the fundamentals, after you could break the rules. And so get your fundamentals game on. Like, it's why I used to play basketball. So that's why I could talk for it. Like, you need your fundamentals. If you don't have fundamentals, I don't care how high you jump, how fast you run, how much endurance you got, they're gonna wash you. Like, a player with less athleticism is just gonna wash you. So get your fundamentals up first, and then you can start really being like Neo in the Matrix and doing some wild shit. You know what I mean? You don't start playing basketball doing Rucker Park moves. You start playing
Yeah.
basketball knowing how to use your left hand, knowing how to do a layup, knowing how to you shoot a free throw, because you're always gonna need that to win the game. And then if you get highlights during the game, that's just cherry on top. Then you get to a point where you're like me, where like I feel like every bar is a highlight. So you know what I mean? I can show off throughout the whole track, but I
That's
earned
right.
that. I
That's
earned that.
right.
You know
You
what I'm
earned
saying?
that. You put that time in. You know what I mean?
Right, right, exactly.
And that's where people go wrong at, man. It's like they kind of give up, man.
Right.
In the middle of it, but you kept going, man.
What
That's
and I, and
crazy.
I, I think people are too result driven. I mean, we need results. Like, you need like positive feedback to keep going, or else it's gonna be hard. But like, you have to also be able to suffer, man. You got to be able to drink some tears before this shit starts tasting good.
How
You know what I'm
about that?
saying? So like, yo, I drank tears. I've had bouts with writer's block and all that. I don't get that no more. But like, you have to go through that grind in order to it's life taste a lot sweeter after that. And your work would taste a lot sweeter. And I'm just so happy that I'm still here and I didn't give up. Like a lot of people, peers that had a lot of talent that I was coming up with, like they're not doing it no more. I'm just I'm just happy that I'm here to talk about my story and tell them like, look, man, you can make music, you can live off this, you can influence people, you can have a good time, you could travel the world. Ain't nothing like traveling the world. You do this right. So Carabas One on that point, when he was talking to me, even though he wasn't talking to me per se, he was right, because I travel. I'm making great music. I'm meeting great people. I'm talking to people like you. I wouldn't be talking to you if I stopped, or if
Yeah.
I didn't hone my skills right, if I stepped putting garbage out. Look, if people don't like what you do, that's their problem, not yours. You got to keep making music until you get it, until you get that. And it's like, you there's no problem with earning something. Everybody wants something to be fall on their laps. And especially when we're young, we want things to happen fast because we watch TV. I told you at the beginning of this interview, I wanted to be a rap superstar, right?
Yep.
Look, I'm not no rap superstar right now. In my world, I am. In some people's minds, I am though. But I'm not no Drake or nothing like that. But yo, it's cool. Like, I love what I'm doing. I'm having a great time, and I wouldn't want anybody else's life. I'm creating what I do, and I still could fulfill any type of dreams I got doing this. It's just up to me.
I think it's just perfect the way it is, brother, man. You built that from the ground up, and
Thank you.
you're definitely reaping the benefits now for that, man.
Thank you, brother. I really,
Definitely.
really appreciate that, man. It's
But
it's
we
it's just great. It's just great.
yeah, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. But we appreciate you stopping by. You told us a lot. We learned a lot from you, and we appreciate you. We value all your hard work. Don't ever stop. Keep going. and keep shining, brother, because that's what you be doing.
I appreciate you, man. No
And
doubt.
this is Let's Chop It Up with Zaz, and this is the brother Napoleon the Legend. Go pick that album up Friday. Hurry up. Don't wait. All right, my brother. Stay right there, all right?
Yep.